My question is, where did the Roman Catholic Church come from, and what is it about?
Oh, I'll answer that real quickly. What Benji asked is, good question, Benji. Where did the Roman Catholic Church, the origin, where is the Roman Catholic Church from, and what is it about? And that is really easy. It's right in the name. The Roman Catholic Church. Church, you know what that is. That's what Jesus started. Catholic is the word for the universal, kind of like the agreed upon everywhere. So what I say to people, if I'm with some obvious Roman Catholics, and I want to witness to them, I do not introduce myself as an ordained Baptist minister. Because they would step back like the girl did at the onion ring place when I said I was a convict. What I say to them is, I am a Catholic, but not a Roman Catholic. And they, 95% of the time, they look you over, and if you don't look dangerous, they go, what's the difference between Catholic and Roman Catholic? And that's, Benji, the origin is that there was a Catholic church, a universal church that James was the first pastor of in Jerusalem, and then Paul spread outside of Jerusalem and Peter all over the Roman Empire. And that church existed for century 1, century 2, and century 3. That means from 0 to 99, and from 1 to 200, and from 200 to 300. And in 313, the Roman Catholic Church, AD, this started in 313. And what happened is Constantine merged all the pagan priests of the state church, and he added them to all of the successors of the biblical church, and merged those two together. And you cannot find in the church beads and candles and vestments and tiaras and all that stuff until after that event. So that's the origin. What it's about is this, and I will only go another second on this. Roman Catholicism is an attempt to materialize the spiritual. And that is the problem that we see nowadays still going on, especially with like the new spiritual formation stuff. That's the buzzword nowadays, spiritual formation, prayer walks and meditation and all that. There is an innate desire within humans to materialize the spiritual. And so what the Roman Catholic Church does is it materialized salvation into 7 sacraments that you could see and touch and check off and have it. And then it split the clergy and the laity. So there were these priests, and there were the non-priests, the plain folks. And what they did is they kind of materialized the Old Testament priesthood. And so what's the problem with Catholicism, Benji? What's it about is it's trying to infuse grace. And what I mean by that is the heart of Romanism is the fact that you can get an IV poked into you spiritually when you're baptized by the church as an infant, and they poke that IV in, and they drip a little grace every time your parents take you to Mass, every time you do penance, every time you do confession, every time you do any good deed, you get another drip of grace, and that's infusing. It's like the church holds salvation and they drip it out to you. That's Catholicism. That's religion. What the Bible teaches is imputation, which I mentioned this morning. And imputation is this, that the instant you call on the name of the Lord, all of your sins go on him, and all of his righteousness goes on us. That's imputed righteousness. The Catholic Church says, no. We're holding all that righteousness. We're guardians of it, and we're going to drip it off to you. And if you stay in communion with the church, and if you do the sacraments, you'll get most of the way to heaven, but not all the way. And then you have to go to purgatory, which we have the sole proprietorship of running. And you pay us, and we will help Grandma get out of purgatory and tell you when she gets out. To the point that they used to put the headdresses of the cardinals, hang them by a rope from the top of the cathedrals. And they would tell the people in the church that when that headdress, the bugs and moths rot the rope, and that headdress of that bishop or cardinal or archbishop hits the ground, that's when Grandma gets out of purgatory. How capricious they were. So